Richician!
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 157. Let's kick it off. The first two questions are once again from John Cross. One, have you ever heard of Dr. Toppersode? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of Dr. Toppersode. And couldn't find anything when I looked it up. Is it meant to be Dr. Toppersode, or did you mean to type something else? Because I'm guessing it's either been spelt wrong, or the device you were typing this on must have auto-corrected it to something else. I'm trying to think whether or not you meant Dr. Pepper Soda, because everyone knows about Dr. Pepper, of course, but yeah, I'm afraid I can't answer that question. 2. What do you think of Crossout Designator? I mean, Crossout Designator is a very good card. I will say that, and it is one of the few common ways to specifically counter Ash Blossom, which I do like, but there are some issues with me personally using it. One being that it would require me to use an Ash Blossom as well, which I refuse to do. Yeah, and I'm just not one of those players that shoves Ash Blossom in absolutely every fucking deck. Yeah, that's how much I hate Ash Blossom. Of course, I could just, if I did want to run Crossout Designator, provided I was still playing current formats, more commonly anyway, if I wanted to run Crossout Designator, I could just put the Ash Blossoms in anyway and just simply not use Ash Blossom's effect. Although chances are I could run into a situation where I'd need to use it, and then by that point I feel like I'd be branded a hypocrite, considering that I've been hating on Ash Blossom for over 5 years now. So yeah, it's a difficult balance. Of course, I can use Crossout Designator to stop other things as well, like Imperm and other hand traps, I suppose. I mean, it does require the opponent to play the exact same card, but obviously since Imperm, Ash, Imperm and Ash is played in literally everything, I mean, that's not really an issue, but still, very handy card for stopping certain things, I guess. Although I'm not too bothered about using it, considering I play Richician formats more often than other formats, including current. That being said, the only current format games I've been playing lately are the Dead Universe Comics Royal Rumbles, which are still being played under current formats, but I'm hoping that I can get the other casual players interested in Richician format. I mean, Cal's kind of expressed interest in it, but whether or not I'll get the others interested is well, that remains to be seen. And yeah, the other issue with crossout designator is that it's, or at least was maybe, too expensive and too difficult to get. Or at least it was, like, within the first 2 years or so. I don't actually know if it's been reprinted in one of the Rarity Collection packs. I mean, I'm assuming it has, but I'm not 100% sure. That's something that would need to be checked. I mean, if it has been reprinted and it's a super rare, then it will be easy to get, but otherwise it's one of those cards that's just too expensive and difficult to get. But who knows anymore. Next questions are from Matt and Alison Welch, and it's a Big E special. 1. With the Big E fair here again in Massachusetts, Alison and I both went and had a blast, even though it cost a fortune. Yeah, I think I remember how much you said you spent, but I'm not going to say on here. But yeah, it was wild that it cost so much. I think we all hate that everything's just way too expensive now. It's ridiculous. The governments need to lower the price of everything, damn it. Anyway, back on topic. Out of all the pics and videos we uploaded on Facebook of the event, which ones did you like the most? I didn't watch 2 of the videos all the way through, because they were a bit long, but from what I saw, it was impressive that that guy was able to bend this metal bar and juggle with bowling balls. That's what it looked like. But yeah, other than that, so what I liked the most was the pictures of the food and the Sonic soft toys that were there. Damn it, I lost the pictures I was looking at. Because there was one I was curious about. Where was it? Because among these food pictures, I caught my eye on something that looked absolutely delicious. I don't know if it will come up here, but here it is. Something that looks like minced chili beans and cheese in a bread roll. I'm not actually sure what it's called, but that looks good and really tasty and something I can really sink my teeth into. God, it makes me hungry just looking at it. But yeah, those were the ones I liked the most. 2. At the Big E, there's lots of different food that we told you about, along with pumpkin beer and watermelon beer. Wouldn't mind trying those, actually. I mean, although I do drink beer, I usually prefer JD and Coke and Copperberg, as well as various cocktails. In fact, I currently have this little goal of trying a Blue Lagoon and a Tequila Sunrise, which I've yet to do, although I might have to wait to go back to this place that me and Emma went to on 2 occasions to celebrate her last 2 birthdays. Anyway, I digress again. Out of some of the food that we told you about, which one would you be more into trying for when you and Emma do visit in the future? That is, if it's around Biggie time. Well, we'll try and time it for around about then, one day. A. Fried Oreos. B. Wood fried pizza. C. Fried cookie dough. Or D. Fried cheese. See, I'm trying to remember if I already had wood fried pizza. I feel like I did, but I can't remember exactly. Um, so I don't know how I feel about the others though. See, I'm not really much of a big cheese eater. I mean, I will eat it, but I'm very particular about what I have it with. Like, whether it's on, well, a pizza, it's in lasagna, a burger, or just sprinkled on top of an Italian dish. Um, so yeah, I don't know about the fried cheese. Um, Because that being said about the fried Oreos and the fried cookie dough, that's something I'm not sure about, but I would be willing to try either of those. Maybe more so the fried cookie dough. Or is it? I don't know. It's a really tough toss up between those two. Um, yeah, that's hard to decide. Um, Gongna has a question, but he's also mentioned about older Yu-Gi-Oh formats and the Gentleman's Agreement. Oh, speaking of the Gentleman's Agreement, there was one other card that we made an agreement not to use. I feel bad that I'm really late watching this, and I'm hoping this doesn't affect anything. But there was also a Gentleman's Agreement to not use Solemn Judgment, purely because it just ruined comeback plays like a few too many times and resulted in the scoop phase. Even though that mainly happened to me, and that happened 3 times. Yeah, for those who don't know, it happened once in a current format game, then again in a cross-ban list game, and then again in a GOAT game. Um, yeah, first time was facing Chaos Max with my Magician Girls. I was only on 4,000, and I normal summoned a Chocolate Magician Girl, and I thought I'd be okay sitting behind it, because, well, Magician Girls can actually fight off monsters that have targeting and destruction immunity, and I would have been fine. Unfortunately, he used Solemn Judgment to negate the summon, and I had to scoop it up. Then again in the cross-ban list game, I was trying to remember what game it was, but as I was editing the end of year video, I mean, one of these games is included in that. I noticed that I normal summoned a Strike Ninja, which was part of a plan to try and make a comeback. I forget exactly what the plan was, but I needed Strike Ninja to be able to pull it off. But again, he used Solemn Judgment, and again I had to scoop up. And then, of course, the third and final time was in a GOAT game where I was in a losing position, and I drew into Graceful Charity, and yeah, I thought, okay, this might be able to save me. You might say it would be a saving grace. So I activated it, and guess what? He activates Solemn Judgment. And yeah, again, I was forced to scoop. So yeah, I actually got so annoyed that this happened a few too many times that this was actually why I ended up banning Solemn Judgment in Richician format, and then I figured I wanted to see if we could make a gentleman's agreement to not use it in past format games, just so this doesn't happen again. Although there was that one Edison game we had where I inadvertently forgot about this agreement entirely, and I still had it in my Rainbow Neo stack, which I used to stop something he did. But it wasn't something that resulted in the scoop phase, though, because there was something he could do afterwards. Where it's like, oh wait, I forgot the gentleman's agreement, so I took it out of my Rainbow Neos deck as well. So yeah, like I said, Solemn Judgment is another card that we've agreed not to use. I'm hoping that won't affect your GOAT decks, or even Edison, in any way, shape or form. Sorry if it does. Anyway, as for the question, I had a wild dream this night, and it's about my one question for your Q&A, number 157. I dreamed that you were in a performance in a park with lots of people and families. You had a guitar, you sit on a chair, and your... Wait, what? Your hand... What? Your handy was before you with your song text. I don't know what that means. You were singing, I was watching you, and later you were watching me on my performance in a small hall. Well, it's funny you should mention about the guitar, which I'll get to when I actually read the question. My question is, did you sing before, or did you play some instruments in your life? I myself tried a few, but my hands and fingers are too small for this. Well, I've never actually sang in front of anyone before. In fact, I'm actually too nervous and shy to sing in front of people. Well, except Emma. There have been a few times where I've sang in front of her, but no one else. But as for instruments, well, when I was in first school, I did play the recorder. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I don't mean like video recorders or something like that. I'm talking about this instrument which is kind of like a flute or a trumpet, but not really. But yeah, that's what I did. I did play the keyboard like in the past as well, like both in school and just at home in my early teenage years. During my late teens, there was a plan for me to learn how to play the guitar, and my dad did show me for a bit, but I never followed up on this. And I wanted to do this for a number of reasons. I mean, I was really getting into rock music and stuff at the time. Plus, I also heard that playing guitar is a way to impress girls and women and what have you. But for some reason, I never carried on doing that. I mean, I doubt I'd know what I'm even doing with a keyboard or a guitar nowadays. I think I did mess about with a piano though, and by mess about I mean just randomly pressing keys on a piano. But yeah, but yeah, other than that, I don't know how to play the piano. I mean, I couldn't play anything on there to save my life. But yeah, regardless, I don't think I'm great with musical instruments either. actually, I think maybe I did mess about with drums a bit as well, but other than that, I don't know how to play the drums properly. um, yeah, I'm a noob when it comes to musical instruments. What can I say? Um, And yeah, that's it for questions in this episode. Thanks a lot for your guys' questions. And if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening, UK time. So be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.